Hello and welcome to another Transfer Talk episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzy and I'm your host for today's show. Not as many rumours as usual surrounding Liverpool Football Club. Some may say that's a bad thing as it's a sign that the club aren't working on a possible deal. For me, it's the opposite. It's not a bad thing that there's no rumours circulating around, as it could be the calm before the storm. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. So another factor would be that the Euros is underway this week. So there won't be as much speculation as normal. But hey, that doesn't stop us from having some fun and talking about potential transfers. So let's start with the first rumour, and that is Soule and Geertruida. I think it's how you pronounce his name. So no huge surprise with this rumour, as it's been circulating since the public news that Onslaught will be the new Liverpool coach. He's an interesting profile, to be honest, an all-action defender who can play as a left back, right back, centre back, and even as a defensive midfielder. Last season, he made 47 appearances, 9 goals, 5 assists, which actually is not that bad for a player that's labelled as a defender. He played 35 games at right back, 9 games at centre back, and 3 games at left back. So the fascinating thing about him playing right back is that he's playing in a more inverted role. So he has the freedom to roam around and influence the game. That's the role that I believe Trent will be playing next season. However, if Onslaught sees Trent Alexander-Arnold as a midfielder, like Gareth Southgate does for England, and see him as a player for the double pivot, I think Geertruida would be a fantastic signing for that right back position. He would provide a more all-round game on that right flank and will also provide strong competition with Conor Bradley, who's also a right back. Now, the only concern I would have with the signing is that what does this mean for Joe Gomez? In my eyes, both players share the same profile, multifunctional and versatile defenders that can play in different positions. There has been some reports that Joe Gomez may look to leave the club in the summer to seek first-team football. I really hope that isn't the case. But if he was to leave, then I think Geertruida would be the perfect replacement. But in an ideal world, you'd want both players in your squad. So this is one to watch, as I'm sure he'll be interesting other clubs in Europe. He was very close to signing for Red Bull Leipzig last summer as Gvardio's replacement, but they decided to go for a more like-for-like replacement in Lokiba. If I was put on the spot and say, will Geertruida become a Liverpool player this summer? I'm a bit on the fence with this one, but I would have to say no, as I believe the club will look to sign a left-footed centre-back / left-back this window. But hey, drop a comment and let me know your thoughts on this rumour, as I know a lot of us will have a different opinion on this one. Now on to the next rumour. Varela, the 22-year-old defensive midfielder, has been linked with a move to Anfield for a reported fee of 55 million. The player has been likened to a former Red in Mascherano. Now, I've seen him a few times, and I wouldn't say he's like Mascherano, who for me was a more tenacious and aggressive player. But Varela is an interesting target. He's a CDM by trade, but possesses a fantastic range of passing. So if he was signed to the club this summer, he would play more of a deep playmaker role as well as an enforcer on the pitch. Now, the annoying thing for me about this rumor is that he was signed by Porto from Boca Juniors last summer for only £7 million. And I knew about the player and mentioned him in one of my transfer episodes last season. He was linked with us with a summer move as well, but for some reason we didn't pursue. This is going to be one that could be costly for Liverpool in the future, as they've got such a prestige worldwide scouting network, but don't make the move on players before they come to Europe. And I hope Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes sign some players from South America and unearth some gems, just like how Real Madrid and Barcelona have done over the years. But with regards to this rumor, Varela would be a fantastic signing, but I think the fee would be, regardless, too high for Liverpool at this stage. Just got a comment here from Daz. Big up, Ozzy. Big up, Daz. Thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in as well. Now, on to the next one. Eze. Now, he's a player I discussed in my transfer talk show yesterday. So if you missed the episode, make sure to catch up after this show. But I'll do a quick recap in terms of my thoughts about Eze being linked with a move to Liverpool. Now, as a player, I think he would be a fantastic addition to the team and play in that number 10 role for Arne Slot. However, I don't think the club will be targeting a number 10 this summer, as there's other positions that need to be prioritized, like a left-sided centre-back and a defensive midfielder. So with that said, I don't think we'll be targeting Eze this summer, but he will certainly attract a lot of interest, as it's been confirmed that he has a £16 million release clause. There's already rumours circulating with regards to Chelsea, who are apparently closing on a deal to sign Michael Olise. So will Palace want to sell another player? Remains to be seen. By the way, I hate the fact that Olise is being linked with a move to Chelsea. He was my number one target for Liverpool this summer. But hey, let's see if that move materializes. Now, on to the next player, Adrian. Now, I shouldn't be saying this with a big grin on my face, but there are rumours suggesting that Adrian has rejected Liverpool's contract offer, as he would like to move back to Spain and retire at his boyhood club, Real Betis. I mentioned this in the last Transfer Talk show, that I was surprised that Liverpool offered him a new contract. And I've heard comments from Adrian in the past that he's been wanting to retire in Spain for a long time. So honestly, I think this would be the best decision for the player and for the club. He gets to retire in his homeland. Liverpool can move on and find a replacement for Adrian. Ideally a homegrown player, so we can free up a space to sign a non-homegrown player in the future. Now, let's talk about our own players right now. And one is Luis Diaz. We got some further developments on the links of Luis Diaz possibly leaving Liverpool this summer. Now, he's come out and said that he's very happy at Liverpool. He's always wanted to play for the club. He's happy and calm, and he's not thinking about anything else other than the Colombian national team. So this would suggest that he will remain at the club. But there's also news that PSG have shown very strong interest in the player, as they would like to find a replacement for Kylian Mbappe. Now, Liverpool would demand a fee of around 75 million. So if PSG are serious, they will need to cough up the money and bring it to the table. On something that aligns to this rumor as well, and it's a story that broke out a few days ago about a possible swap deal involving Luis Diaz. Now, Barcelona are currently facing some financial problems and will need to sell players in order to raise some funds. And one of the players that you can see on the screen is Raphinha, as he looks like he might be heading through the exit door. Because Barcelona have an interest in signing Luis Diaz, a possible swap deal has been mooted by the media. Personally, I don't think there's any truth to the story. Firstly, swap deals don't happen in real life. It's more of a video game feature, let's be honest. But more importantly, I think Luis Diaz is worth more than Raphinha. Now, don't get me wrong. I rate Raphinha and wanted us to sign him from Leeds United a couple of years ago. But I would only be interested in signing Raphinha if he was available for a cut price deal and has nothing to do with Luis Diaz moving the other way. Personally, I would like Luis Diaz to stay at the club, as I think he will cause havoc in Arne Slot's system, as Slot likes to play his wingers close to the byline, and that is Diaz's bread and butter. So I would like Diaz to stay at the club for at least one more season before he considers moving on. Some interesting news developing in Germany today, as there are rumours circulating that suggest Bayer Leverkusen defender Jonathan Tah is set to move to Bayern Munich in this window. Now you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with us? And what's that got to do with the player on the screen? Well, apparently, if that deal doesn't happen, the next player on their list would actually be Chelsea's player Levi Colwill. Now, the ship hasn't sailed for this player, and Liverpool still hold a strong interest in him. There's suggestions that Liverpool will be inquiring about the player, as Chelsea need to sell in order to meet profitability and sustainability requirements. Now, for me, he would be an amazing signing for us. He really showcased his talents when he was on loan at Brighton a couple of years ago. A left-sided centre-back, can also play left-back. Defensively solid, can ping a pass with his left foot, and would be registered as a homegrown player. So he ticks a lot of boxes. The only question is, would Chelsea want to do business with Liverpool? And if so, how much would it cost? Now, I can't say for sure Chelsea would want to do business with Liverpool because he will certainly strengthen our team. They would probably prefer to sell him abroad to a team like Bayern Munich instead. So keep your eyes on this rumor, as I think we'll probably get some further developments in the coming days. Now, I'll be brutally honest, guys. This is a name I'm not familiar with, but Liverpool have been linked with a move for Chilean winger Dario Osorio. The player joined Danish side FC Michelin last summer. He made 25 appearances in all competitions with 9 goals and 2 assists. Now, he's definitely a young up-and-coming player. He's a left-footed right winger, so in that Mohamed Salah mode. So I think the best thing to do is watch a small compilation together, and then let's see what he's all about. So let me share the screen with you guys. Here we go. So as you can see, quick feet, really quick on the ball. Lovely pass there with the outside of his foot. So yeah, definitely got some technique on him. Little flick there. Now, do take into consideration this is the Danish league, so it's not the most competitive league in Europe. But just look at the technique, just look at the ability that he has on the ball. Nice cheeky nutmeg there. Piece of skill to get around the player. He looks good, to be fair. Look at the way he's just gliding past players. Oh, lovely technique. Look at that. Half volley, top bins. Beautiful finish. Great execution on the board there. That was definitely a cross, but hey, they all count. I'm telling you guys, this YouTube stuff, killing me right now. We'll let Google do its thing right now, and then yeah, back to the clip. So I'll be honest with you, he looks like an exciting prospect. There we go, on the right wing again, cuts in, shoots, decent finish. I can't lie, there's definitely something about him in terms of the way he's playing. Obviously, the question will be, is he able to produce this kind of performances? Whoa, what a goal. Let's have a look at the replay of this one. Absolutely smashed it in top bins. The big question is, can he produce this sort of form in the Premier League? I think until he doesn't join a Premier League team, we'll never know. But from what I can see in terms of his ability-wise, he looks like he's a very technical player. Good pace as well. Yeah, he's an exciting player. Obviously playing for Chile as well, so he's an international player. So he will be playing in the Copa America. So definitely one I'll be keeping an eye on, especially if this rumor heats up in the coming weeks. But look, he's got good pace on him. Let's have a look. Ooh, hit the crossbar there. So looks a decent prospect, to be fair. That would be showing me the eyes right now. Look, I'll be honest with you. This looks like a typical Michael Edwards sort of signing where, you know, the database is definitely he produced some sort of results, and he might be a player that we're trying to bring to the club. And, you know, we always say that, why don't we buy players before they become big? This could be a prime example right now. So it's an interesting one. Apparently he's only available, or Liverpool are reportedly set to table a bid of around 8 million. He only joined the club last summer for around 5 million. I don't think they'll accept 8 million. They'll probably have to bid at least 10 to 15 million, especially when a big club like Liverpool is bidding for someone's services. He looks like an interesting prospect, I can't lie. Definitely one to keep an eye on. The big question is he going to be like a Marc Gonzalez? I know a lot of fans might not know him, but this was a Chilean winger that we bought quite a few years ago. Will he turn out to be like him, or could he be the next big thing coming out of Chile? So look, he looks exciting to me. So drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. I think there's a talented player there. when it comes to that Liverpool, also take this into consideration. It's a low risk, 8 million, 10 million. That's not going to do us any damage. So I feel that's definitely one to look out for, and I can possibly see Liverpool making a move for this type of player. Now, on to the next target, Yankuba Minteh. So I'm sure you've probably seen his name floating around social media. I touched on him, pause, on him in the show yesterday when I did my transfer talk show. He didn't play for Newcastle last season as he was out on loan at Feyenoord playing for Onslaught. So now you see why the links are appearing for the player and for the club. So like I just showed you a little compilation for Osorio. Let's do a quick one for Minteh as well. And we'll see what he's about. So here you go. So this will be his sort of best sort of appearances or best moments, I should probably say, for Feyenoord last season. My connection is bugging out right now. Here we go. So predominantly a right winger. So as you can see right now, he's on the left, but this is probably a counter-attack move more than anything else. Showing some good pace there. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my internet. Let's just skip this a little bit. Give it a few seconds. If it doesn't come up, we'll just leave it for now and we can revisit it later on. Just got a comment here whilst this loads up from Double D. He says Gonzalez would have cooked under Klopp. To be fair, he would have. Yeah, Gonzalez was a funny one because we signed him and then we couldn't get a work permit and then we had to wait like a year or two for him. And then he was unfortunately affected by injuries. But yeah, flying left winger, he would probably have done well as well, to be fair. So, but look, we might have the next big one from Chile in Osorio. It looks like a time player. So let's get back onto Minteh right now. Let's see. So tricky player there. Definitely got some speed on him. Good acceleration. Yeah, very quick. Good through ball there. Not gonna lie, he kind of to the mic there. I think I've seen that clip before. I think the defender afterwards tried to kick the ball at him. He wasn't happy with what Minteh did there. Showed a lack of professionalism, but hey, look, when you're twisting and turning players like that, you can kind of do what you want. So he's scoring goals like that as well. So that probably shows you the level of the Eredivisie where teams are far too open and playing a high line. And that's why you're getting exposed. And you've got players like Minteh being one-on-one with two defenders around him on every occasion. So, yeah, that's just the quality of the league. But he looks a decent player, to be fair. He looks decent. I'm not going to say he doesn't look good. But now, the interesting thing with regards to Minteh is that Newcastle are trying to raise funds to meet the profitability and sustainability requirements, similar to Chelsea, as I mentioned earlier on. So I think from a Newcastle point of view, they should probably sell one of their highly prized assets in Gomes and Isaac, as they'll be getting a lot more of a transfer fee from both of those players, and probably try to keep the likes of Minteh, who for me looks like he has some good potential there. I think he'd really do well in the Premier League. Now, in terms of his link to Liverpool, I don't quite see it happening. I think in terms of profile, he fits the bill. Obviously, he knows the manager. However, I think they're asking for between 40 to 45 million for him. So I think that's a little bit steep for a player who's just pretty much played first team football in the Eredivisie last season. And I would probably prefer to look elsewhere. I'm not gonna lie, this Osorio fella looked kind of impressive. So if you know, technically wise, they seem to be not that far apart. And Osorio's worth around 10 million, 8 million. So I don't know. I feel like you got to use your business mind as well. If you can get a player of similar sort of profile for less the price of another target, then it's definitely worth considering. So yeah, that's how I kind of view Minteh. Looks a good player, but I'm not too sure if there's any truth to that rumor. Just got a comment here from Diaz. He said, "Is it true about Rodrigo, Ozzy? Also, what position does he play?" To be fair, I have no idea that we were linked to Rodrigo. So let me quickly have a browse online. We've always been linked with him in the past. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you guys so you can see as well. And then we can see if there's any truth to this rumor. So let me share the screen with you guys. Okay. So Liverpool learn new Rodrigo price tag as unsold transfer reunion emerges. So how much are we talking here? Let's see if I can see any numbers right now. The report suggests that the Reds would have made a 100 million offer to sign Rodrigo had the player requested to leave. However, it became that had this happened, was rejected. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like a lot of rubbish. Yeah, I don't think there's any truth to those rumors. Daily Express is saying 60 million. I don't think there's any truth to the rumor. In terms of his best position, for Real Madrid, he predominantly plays on the right. But from what I know, in his previous club, he was predominantly on the left. So a winger that can play on both sides. Don't get me wrong, as a player, he would be a good signing for us. He actually, in fact, rejected us before he joined Real Madrid. We agreed a deal of £3 million, but he wasn't ready to make that move to Premier League, and then later on decided to move to La Liga. So no, I don't think there's any truth to that rumor, if I'm being brutally honest, Daz. In terms of his best position, I think the left. Just got a comment from Double D. He says play century 2 when needed. Yeah, so he's a player, very versatile, can play across the 3 or a 2, depending on how your team sets up. Interesting profile, but no, I don't see Liverpool being in the market for a player for that kind of price bracket. It's not how we conduct business. We're looking out for the Dario Osorios, as we mentioned. Like, this is the sort of caliber of players we're looking at, where we're trying to unearth potential players that could end up, being on the high scale and on a higher pedestal with the likes of Rodrigo. So I don't think we're going to go and sign a player like Rodrigo. In fact, I don't actually think he'll probably even leave Real Madrid. I know they signed a lot of attackers, so Mbappe's coming through. You've got the young striker, Endrick, as well. But on the wings, they don't have a lot of numbers. So I think he still has a part to play for Real Madrid. So no, unfortunately, I don't see any truth to those rumors. And Rodrigo's always linked to Liverpool. It's just like a lazy journalism for media outlets, because it's just like a lot of Liverpool fans like him, so they've use it as a clickbait tactic. I just don't think there's any truth to that rumor. Now, this player is an interesting one, Matteo Soule. So last summer, went out on loan. He's a Juventus player, and apparently he is available for a reported £25 million. The player has been regarded as the next Dybala, has been linked to a move to the Premier League. He's been linked to a lot of mid-table teams, respectively, like with the likes of Palace and Aston Villa. So, not sure in terms of are those sort of any realistic links? Because for me, he looks like a very talented player. Liverpool are actually one of the other clubs that are linked with him. So he's one to watch, I would definitely say. So as we're not too familiar with the player, it's only right we do another compilation on screen. So what I'll do, I will bring a video. So here we go. So out on loan last season. So let's see what he produced for his team. So look, nice bit of skill there. Let's see if there is any sort of truth to that comparison of Dybala. Nice finish there. It's probably the socks as well. He's got the socks rolled down, so that's a Dybala trademark as well. Nice free kick there. Oh, that's a great goal. That's an audacious finish right there. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. Okay, nice, neat finish there as well. Composed in front of goal, which is good to see. Right-footed finish as well, so not just one-footed. Seems to play predominantly on the right wing. So, look, these are the sort of profile players I think Liverpool will be looking into this summer. That's a nice finish. To be fair, I was going to say it's a nice finish, but poor goalkeeping. I was straight at the keeper. Just flapped headed there. Look, he looks talented. Notice how the three players that we've watched compilations are all sort of similar profile, young, up and coming right wingers, left-footed, technical, quick, have an eye for goal. So these are the sort of profiles I expect Liverpool to sign in the summer. Also, with signing these sort of players, the pressure isn't high on them. So they're able to get accustomed to the league with no huge pressure. Well, look, I'm not going to lie, he looks interesting to me as well. Definitely one to look out for. Just watch his final move and then we'll stop from there. I will share the links to the compilations that I've shared on screen. So, if I've stopped it too early for you guys, you can watch the remaining of the compilation. But no, he looks a talented player as well. The question is, why are Juventus even thinking of selling him? But that's another team's gain more than anything else. So now look, very impressive this player. He looks good to me. Any truth to the rumor? I don't know. There's a lot of names being thrown around, but I'm expecting this sort of caliber of player to join Liverpool this summer. And then we'll see how it goes. So now, before we conclude, as you can see on the screen, it's worth mentioning all the Liverpool players that will be participating in the Euros. As we all know, the Euros will be underway this Friday. So we've got Robertson representing Scotland. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold playing in the double pivot. He's been awarded the number 8 shirt, like Steven Gerrard used to wear back in the day. So he will be playing for England. Joe Gomez makes his sort of return to the England squad. And for me, rightly so. I think he's been fantastic for us last season. Then you've got the three Dutchmen in Van Dijk, Gakpo, and Gravenberch. Szoboszlai, the talisman for Hungary. Diogo Jota has returned to injury. I think he just scored the other day with his first touch. So hopefully he stays fit. That's the key for me. Konate, probably expected to start for France ahead of the likes of Saliba. So that'll be an interesting one. And very, very strong favourites to win the competition. And you've got Jaros as well, who is our technically third or fourth choice keeper right now. Could get promoted, I would say, in the summer, depending on what happens with Kelleher and Adrian. So a lot of players that will be on Liverpool watch as well. So we wish all the players the best in the tournament, and fingers crossed that no one returns to the Access Centre injured, as we need everyone fit for pre-season. Diaz is commenting, hasn't Robert pulled out with a knock? I know he suffered a knock and was removed from training just for precautions. If he's actually been ruled out, I'm not entirely sure. Let me have a look and confirm. No, the Scotland assistant Carver confirmed that he's fine, and so he was just out of training on a more of a precaution basis. So no, he is expected to play for Scotland in the Euro. So yeah, hopefully he returns to full fitness and we see him in action very soon. So that is the end of the show. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you to Diaz and Double D for your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always, guys. Next show will be tomorrow, as I'll be doing a special FC24 live stream. I'll be playing as England in the Euro 24 on the game. So make sure to join me at 10 p.m. UK time. There will also be a Q&A for you guys, so feel free to drop your questions in the live chat. Then on Thursday, I'll be doing a Euro 2024 prediction show. And then Friday, that's when the tournament begins, and I'll be doing a live watch-along of the opening game between Germany and Scotland, and hopefully we'll see Andy Robertson playing as well. So thank you again for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.